Hi, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. My name is Ross Benjamin. I'm your host. It is Tuesday, April the 9th. We're talking NBA today with my trusted colleagues, Mr. Sean Higgs and Mr. Jesse Schule, all three of us of our sponsor site, which is gamblersworld.net. Folks, baseball is in full bloom right now, and it will be the feature sport along with the NBA playoffs for the next 3 months or so. So just to remind you, you can get right now from any handicapper over at gamblersworld.net a special right now for $349, which will take you right through the All-Star break in Major League Baseball. And if you want to partake in an annual package that will take you right through the World Series, you can get that from any one of us for $695. So, and don't forget, our 3-day, 7-day, and 30-day packages are all guaranteed, as well as our single game and multi-game daily packages, which simply means if you don't win, you don't make a profit, you are going to be credited back the exact amount of what you paid for that particular subscription or package. So there you have it. Sean, how are you, my man?
Pretty good. You talk about baseball. I'm off to a nice little start here, 29-19. So keep it going today. Got some games up, early action, later on, night action. So, I love my baseball. So I'm excited.
Good for you, Sean. That's a great start, 29-19. I'm 5-4. I feel pale in comparison. But going back to last August 4th, I'm over somewhere around 63% with my Major League Baseball picks, and I'll get that exact record for you shortly. But before I do that, let's introduce Mr. Jesse Schule, who's been red hot. And he's on the top of a lot of the leaderboards over at gamblersworld.net. I believe number one overall since we started the site. So, Jesse, how are you?
Doing all right, Ross. But the one record, though, the one spot on the leaderboard that I think I should get a gold star on my forehead or a pat on the back or whatever else paper mache trophies you're giving out over there. I finished first with college hoops for the season. And given the star-studded roster, given legends like yourself and Sean, as well as Kyle Hunter, to finish at the top of a group like that, I think you deserve to get a pat on the back a little bit. I hope
Absolutely.
you guys
Absolutely. And again, college basketball season is finished. I did have a winner to close the season. So I had the under in the championship game last night between UConn and Purdue. Fairly easy winner. It 145.5. It fell on 135, and it wasn't threatened whatsoever throughout the second half. Finished the NCAA tournament 17-10. So on a nice 23-13 run in college basketball. But that season's done. Like I said, Major League Baseball is upon us. The NBA is upon us. My NBA sides have done tremendous, 61% since April 10th of last year. And my Major League Baseball, again, folks, an extremely good record of 63-38. Excuse me, that would be 64-40 since last August the 4th, which is somewhere around 62%. So you can get all our selections, all three of us, right there at gamblersworld.net. And without further ado, let's get it going here, boys. We're talking NBA, and Jesse, we'll start with you. The Kings and the Golden State Warriors and the LA Lakers. And right now, the Lakers are 2.5-point favorite. The total in this game is 235.5. What do you got for us, Jesse?
Well, what I can't tell you is who's going to play for sure. I can tell you who should play and what's at stake for both teams, though. And you just look at the position in the standings for both these teams. The Warriors are a game and a half back of the Lakers. The Warriors are not going to avoid the double play-in. They're going to have to win not one but two play-in spots, regardless of how they finish the season, just based on where they're sitting. But the Lakers actually have a chance. They could move up all the way to the 6th seed and avoid the play-in altogether if they run the table. Their remaining 3 games come against the Warriors tonight, the Memphis Grizzlies, and then the New Orleans Pelicans in their final game of the regular season. The Pelicans are one of the teams they're trying to catch, so they certainly want to be playing that team if they want to move up. And you'd expect them to get that win against the Grizzlies. So the Lakers have a real shot to improve their seeding and either get to the point where they only have to win one play-in game, which obviously is better than having to win two, or maybe even getting into that sixth spot in the Western Conference, avoiding the play-in altogether. Of course, LeBron James, flu-like symptoms, missed the last game. How long does that last? I think if he wants to play tonight, he will. Anthony Davis leaves the last game with an re-aggravated eye injury. I think he could wear the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy goggles and play if he needs to play. And then you have the Warriors, like I said, they don't really have an opportunity to advance their playoff position, in my opinion, barring them winning out and everybody else losing out. They're not really going anywhere. They're going to have to do it the hard way. And Steve Kerr's already said he doesn't want to play a ton of minutes for Steph Curry down the stretch. He was critical, and I brought this up a week ago, giving out a free play when they were playing the Mavs. And I said, this looks like a bad spot. It was the second game of a back-to-back, third game in 4 nights. I said, they're probably going to rest Curry here. Then the Mavs pulled Luka just before the game. And now all of a sudden it goes from a tough game to a very winnable game. They played Curry full minutes. So, I mean, I will caution people. I'm giving out a pick on the Lakers here, minus the 2.5 for a very, very small stake, no more than half of what you'd regularly play on free picks that I'm giving out on these videos. But just for the fact that the Lakers stand to gain more by winning this game.
They have more to play for, and that's one of the keys when you're looking at the final stretch of the NBA regular season. I like to tell people, Sean, that you wanted to get 2 teams that are playoff bound, and not only playoff bound, but they have something to play for.
Yep.
And that means improving their seeding, getting out of the play-in tournament, whatever the case may be. But anyway, Sean, your take on this matchup.
Yeah, no, I agree with Jesse. If you're going to jump in this, you jump on a team that's got a little more motivational edge, and Lakers have it. Get out of the playing game, and the Golden State game against the Mavericks that Jesse was talking about. That's their only last loss. They had one like 8 in a row. I think they're 8-1. They're coming into that, with that loss. So they played themselves into the playoffs, Golden State, after a ho-hum season. And I agree. What are they playing for? Do they let's just rest up? We're here and get our team sort of on track a little bit. That's what you get out of these teams. It's terrible. Like the Lakers, you think would be better, but I mean, I'm going into my game's going to be a game like that too. We got teams kind of playing who's got more to play for.
Exactly.
Tough time of year for NBA. I don't. You can't come here and say it's easy. This is tough. And NBA's tough as it is all year when guys take days off, 15 minutes before the game starts. So this time of year, you got guys playing for contracts, stat contracts, incentives.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah, and if you got 2 teams that are mathematically eliminated or realistically eliminated, like I like to say, and I don't know how you guys feel about this. I believe I mentioned this on a couple of occasions now. Usually those teams in those situations, defense becomes an afterthought because, as Sean just alluded to, a lot of these players are playing for a contract the following year or incentives in their contract this current year. And as a result, it becomes a lot of one-on-one basketball, a lot of playground style basketball, a lot of up-tempo basketball, and little to be had defensively. So again, it's not when I say these types of situations like I just described, that does not mean automatically you should no-brain yourself through that and see those types of games and say, well, Ross said to play the over, and not giving any more thought. I'm just saying it's a good foundational starting point. And again, I am really reluctant to even touch those types of games, regardless of what I just said, and more lean toward what, the teams that are actually playing for something at this time of year. And it becomes it's never easy to predict, but it's certainly a little more predictable than teams that are out of the race. All right, Sean. That takes me to your game. And by the way, Sean, you got to go to Instagram and Paul Bovey, our fellow handicapper. And he had a video yesterday shooting free throws. and he was knocking them down at an absorbent rate. And I said, this is a guy that Sean Higgs would have in his corner. He went on the free throw line at clutch time. So I just
Has he got any eligibility left? We could put him on a team to come in and shoot technicals.
I mean, Paul is my age, mid-60s, but man, he keeps himself in great shape. And I was very impressed by his performance on that video.
Is that a full-size room down there in Mexico? He's a short guy. Is that full-size? Is that a full?
Yeah, no. I mean, it's I know that's not a basketball country, but they do play basketball there. And in any event, let's talk about your matchup, Sean. And that's the Sacramento Kings and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Right now, Oklahoma City is a 5.5-point favorite, and 226.5 is the total. What do you got for us?
Yeah, so, unlike Jesse's spot, I got two teams that actually might be playing for something here. And it's kind of which way do I want to go? You have the Thunder. They're a game back of both Denver and Minnesota for the top seed. And then you have Sacramento, who's a half game ahead of the Lakers in the play-in, a game back of both New Orleans and the Suns, and two back of Dallas in the 5 spot. So they got a game with New Orleans on deck, or not on deck, but to wrap up, they have 4 games left. That's one of them. This is a team I think wants to play and maybe get a little better because they're on the fringe of going down to the 9 seed or possibly being a 6 seed. Where would you want to be? You don't want to play an extra game. And the Thunder, we've talked about this, I think last week, just brought up. You got the 2 injury guys with Williams and SGA over there. Let's be honest, they haven't played. Are they going to roll them out here? Does it make a difference if they're the 3 seed or the 4 seed? I don't. To them, I don't think it does. They want their guys healthy. The line did go up from 4 to a 5.5, which maybe they're going to get a couple minutes for these guys. I don't know. I'm going to take the 5.5 points here with the dog. Kings have played up all season to better teams. Let's get it some here. When a lot on the line. It's a dual playoff game or a double elimination, whatever this playing nonsense is. I don't think they want that. I think you could say, hey, we can move up a little bit. Where the Thunder had been taking, I hate saying taking days off, but it is what it is at the end of the year. You want to get healthy. Give me the Kings here in the points.
All right, the Kings plus 5.5 against the Thunder for Mr. Sean Higgs. Yeah, I agree with you, Sean, in terms of what's the difference 3 and 4. Sure, you would want to get to 3, right? But at what expense? And at the end of the day, if you're the 3 or 4, you're getting home court advantage in the first round, and most likely, if things play true to form, you're going to not have home court advantage in the second round. So, a great point that you brought up there. And Mr. Schule, do you have anything to add? And now we have your weightlifting prowess tapes, and we have Paul Bovey's free throw shooting tapes, and then you guys got my curiosity up with this Harvey Keitel comparison. and I actually watched Bad Lieutenant last night.
My goodness, you go Bad Lieutenant on the guy?
Oh yeah, man, that was great. Anyway.
That's a crazy one, Bad Lieutenant.
Yeah, sure. So anyway.
I love how they put Mad Dog doing the baseball betting in the middle of it with the Dodgers and the Mets.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to figure out how the Dodgers and the Mets were playing in the World Series in that movie, but anyway.
Oh, no, I think it was that was an NLCS. I think it was
the NLCS. Yeah. All right. So, in any event, Jesse, your take on what Sean had to say, or anything else in terms of Harvey Keitel weightlifting and free throw shooting?
I'm just wondering what's Sean's act going to be.
Listen, you got me. I'm on a Man vs. Food episode eating hot wings, so that's mine. I got a hot wing episode on Man vs. Food on the Travel Channel. You can go check that out. All right. Yeah. So.
Okay, well that sounds good. I was going to say the blueberry pie eating contest from Stand By Me.
I don't know. I'm not a pie guy.
Anyways,
no apple pie.
I like where you're going with the Sacramento.
You know this. Picky fat guy eater. No.
I like where you're going with the Kings, but the Kings really let me down when they were in New York the other day. They were facing a banged-up Knicks team. It was a must-win game for them in that spot, and the Knicks I think the Knicks had lost 3 straight. This is right after they announced Julius Randle was going to be out for the year. Anunoby was out, and the Kings couldn't pull that one out. So I don't have a ton of faith in the Kings, but one thing is they've been playing lockdown defense. So I'm just going to say to you guys, if you like the Kings, OKC team total, because they're the bigger favorite, team total under might be the better bet.
Yes.
That was 228 last night. It's down at 226.5, so it did come down.
Yeah.
Sometimes when the totals go down, though, they don't move the team totals right away, and you can still get a better value that way. I've noticed.
Yeah. No, good point, Jesse. So there you have it. Sean likes the Kings plus 5.5 over the Thunder. Jesse likes the Lakers minus 2.5 over Golden State. And I would say, and I think Jesse would agree with me, Jesse stretches the money line a little more to me and Sean would. But if you can get minus 140 or less on the Lakers, that probably would be the better route. No, Jesse, or
Yeah, no, I mean, if it was going to be a big play for me, I would not want to lay the 2.5 points.
sure. Okay. So again, Jesse, I think you could read between the lines, folks, and how he told you or how he explained his analysis that this is an assigned game, and in his best efforts, his opinion is the latest short number on the Lakers, but doesn't seem to me, and I'm not going to ask him this question, that it's going to be part of any of his premium packages tonight. So in any event, let me look at my game, and that is right now we're looking at, if I can get my promo up, here we go. Clippers at the Suns, and that goes at 10 p.m. Eastern time tonight. The Suns right now, a heavy 7.5 point favorite. The total in this game is 226. You know, guys, these teams have played twice this year, and the Clippers have won both and covered both. And in those two games, they averaged 134.5 points per game, shot 59% for the field, over 52% from the three-point line, and like tremendous 88.5% from the free throw line, while averaging 31 free throw attempts per game. In addition, they won both of those games by a combined average of 18 points per game. Now, this is a Clippers team that's playing without Kawhi Leonard right now. And I mentioned this last week, and I'll mention it again. He's averaging 23.7 points per game, and they've been without him in their last 4 contests. However, the Clippers without Kawhi Leonard still won their last 3, all at home. And here's the thing with the Clippers. They're 9-0 straight up in ATS this year off 3 straight home games. So they're coming off 3 straight at home, and they're 9-0 straight up in ATS in those situations. And 7 of those 9 games occurred on the road. So it's not like it's an extension of a homestand that they're winning. They're going on the road and coming up big as well the majority of occasions. The Clippers also riding the momentum of a 120-118 home win versus Cleveland. Why am I saying riding the momentum? Because they were down 26 points in that contest and roared back again without one of the premier players in Kawhi Leonard. And the Suns have gone under the total in their last 3. And interesting trend here that I looked at is the Suns, when coming off 3 straight unders this year, are just 4-4 straight up and 1-7 against the spread. So again, folks, this is something to keep in mind. And I'm going to go with the LA Clippers plus 7.5 over the Suns. No, I'm not crazy about this play, but I think the better value here is obviously on the underdog, in my opinion, and that's the LA Clippers. And Jesse, take it away.
Well, this looks like the kind of game where Ross would be saying this line looks heavy. Yeah. It's heavy for a reason. So I was expecting you to go the other way, but I go by a different philosophy. When the line looks too heavy to me, I think there's value with the dog. Like you say, this is a tough one. In fact, I'll say this. Whoever loses this one, because it's the first leg of a back-to 2 games series, I'll take the loser of this one and the next one.
Yeah. Do you think it's as heavy as it is because you're going to be without Kawhi Leonard? I think that if Leonard's in the lineup, how many points are we accounting for in terms of that? I mean, I would say anywhere between 2.5 to 3.5, Sean, without Leonard in the lineup, Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, it's 7.5 because there's no Kawhi, and you add in the fact that the Clippers smoked them in the last home and home back in January, putting up 138. Again, I'm with Jesse. Like, it seems too high, and you should just take the Suns here. But on the same token, I'm not a big Suns backer, and I don't want to be laying this kind of points with them. And then you could point out, well, the Clippers ATS, they're not that great. Well, most time they're laying the 6 or 7 points. They're not getting them.
Yeah.
So I do lean. I'm with you guys. Like you want to take the points because you're getting a good team with points. And again, this is a spot where he's not playing. Well, would you want to play a 4-5 game if you're the Clippers, knowing that the Thunder might be sitting guys? You might want to move up to a 3 to get out of a 4-5 game versus a tougher team. At the end of basketball for me is sometimes you just wanted to sit out and not be involved. I'm like Jess said, the loser in tomorrow night's game, sure, sign me up. Maybe it's a big blowout, right? Maybe it's the payback game and it's 122-96 because the Clippers just lay an egg here on the road and they go back home tomorrow and win by 10.
Yeah.
I bet an under. You think an under is probably better?
Yeah,
I'd probably be an under here.
The thing is both first 2 meetings were so high scoring, and then I look at the total, and then the LA Clippers total, for example. I entertain looking at that, Jesse, which they're only at 109.5. Based on the numbers I just alluded to, they've scored 130 and 138 in the 2 games they played against Phoenix and shot a combined close to 60% from the field in those 2 games. Yet this total is just 109.5. And Jesse, you're right. Ordinarily, okay, I would look and say this line is way too heavy. But like I alluded to, would we think it's too heavy if Phoenix was just a 3.5 or 4-point favorite with Kawhi Leonard in the lineup? And I would say no. But anyway, your thoughts, Jess.
I think it's less about the Kawhi injury and more about the fact that Phoenix is sitting half a game out of the play-in, and that's more key to people than I mean. The Clippers are going to win their division anyways. The Clippers aren't at risk of. I think aren't they locked into the 4th spot or?
They're 4. They're 3 games back OKC. So for everything to go right to move up, OKC is going to have to just mail it in the next 3
the Clippers aren't going anywhere.
And OKC's pretty much been mailing it in lately, it seems like, anyway. But yeah, it's good points, Jess. It's about that. But let's not forget, again, we lose sight of the fact, yes, the Suns need to gain more to get into get out of the play-in tournament, which is advantageous to do so, obviously. And the Clippers are pretty much locked in, but we're still talking 7.5 points. It's not like the Suns can't win the game.
Like I said about the Suns last week, is you got to ask yourself how you get Kevin Durant, you get Bradley Beal. How come you're in the play? How come you're flirting with the play-in the first place?
Well, I mean, the devil's advocate to that would say because Bradley Beal missed a ton of games. So if you really look at the top 3 that you just described, I don't think they've been together on the same floor at the same time more than half their games this year. So, and I think that might be a high number. So that might be a counter statement to what you just said, Jesse, but it's also a very good point. All right, let me go over these 3 games again. I'm taking the Clippers plus 7.5 over the Suns. Sean is taking the Sacramento Kings plus 5.5 over Oklahoma City, and also Jesse, the Lakers minus 2.5 against Golden State. There you have it. Those are our 3 NBA free selections for Tuesday, April the 9th. I will be back with these 2 gentlemen tomorrow morning. We'll be talking additional NBA at that time. And then we'll also be back with each other on Friday for our live show. Look forward to that. It might be the last live show before football season, so you don't want to miss that, folks. It's 1 p.m. Eastern time. It gives you the opportunity to check in with your questions and comments that we always enjoy. So until then, for Sean Higgs, Jesse Schule, and Ross Benjamin. Thing. There's a like button underneath, Jesse.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button, folks. It's a small token of your appreciation for the time, the work, and the effort we put into bringing you a quality podcast each and every day. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Channel. And when you do so, go into your YouTube settings and click on that alert notification bell. and you'll be alerted immediately upon any of our 5 podcasts weekly going up on our channel. Until the next time, take care and God bless, folks.